An open door policy. We hear about this statement so very often in every other organizations. Hi, good morning and welcome to the Morning Vibe session with Career Counseling Online. We're going to talk about the open door policy in the organizations today. When you are that leader and when you are heading that organization, you one have to be very vigilant. One have to be very alert as to what kind of information receiving. When you are the top level senior management leader heading the organization or heading the department, you will be receiving information from the junior managers or the middlemen. They are the people who are working with the other subordinates, the lower level subordinates, and getting the work done. So, as a leader, you have to be very vigilant, you have to be very alert because you will be receiving information from the middlemen, which could be either true, mixed, or manipulated. So, how to sort out the information which is unnecessary and which needs the action? An open door policy comes in handy under such circumstances. Many organizations I have found, even when you have to approach a director or the head of the organization, you have to pass through a couple of secretaries. Now, secretaries are there to leverage your activity to sort out the to-dos and the priority, based actions, which needs to be worked upon. But when you, as a leader, start depending on those middlemen or those secretaries, so much so that they start taking decisions on behalf of you, that becomes a disaster. Many a times, a lot of prioritized, a lot of high-end challenges gets delayed, resulting into procrastination, resulting into loss of loyal customers because the secretary thought this was something which could wait, whereas the leader, that is you, or the director, which is you, who were busy in the meeting. Now, when your secretary starts taking decision on behalf of you, well, he or she does not really have that kind of insight which you have developed over the period of time and your experience to understand the gravity of the situation. And when they start taking decisions on behalf of you, that becomes really disastrous in the sense they do not understand the priority attached to the challenge. The kind of result, the aftermath that can happen, they are not really aware of it because they have never taken decisions in terms of challenges on the challenging situations. Now, an open door policy, on the other hand, allows the subordinates, the people who are working at the lower level and working in the market directly, to approach you with their problem. What are the benefits of open door policy? The first benefit that I can obviously tell you is, see, for the guys who are working in the management, um, they have to take decisions based on the market situation and competition. And who are the guys who are working in the market on the upfront? Who are the guys who are meeting the customers? Who are the guys who are meeting the clients? They are the sales and the marketing people. So, when you are that leader taking decisions in terms of growth of the organization, when you allow these people, the marketing, the sales, or the people who are working, the support team, who are working directly with the clients, directly with the customer, to come up to you, approach you with their questions or confusion or any challenge that they face, what happens is you actually, as a representative of the organization, get the real vibe of what's happening in the market. Many a times I have found that there is a huge gap in between the boardroom and the real market. In the boardroom, the meeting goes smoothly, everything is fine, because I seldom believe that in the boardroom there are very few who can stand up against the management's decision or an action which has been initiated, and say upfront what are the kind of challenges it might throw the whole team, the whole organization into. So, under such circumstances, the decisions which are taken in the boardrooms are mainly I have seen based on data which are, many a times unfortunately manipulated, not analyzed properly, not sought after properly. So, the information is a mix of somebody else understanding, some junior managers or or other managers understanding of the situation, and the data is not accurate. And when a decision is taken on behalf of those wrong datas, the output will obviously throw the organization off the grid, throw the department into a pandemonium, into a chaos with the clients, because a new feature which might be very appealing to you, which might the other competitors are already implementing. When you implement that feature into your software or into your hardware, you never know, the client base who are using your software, hardwares, they might get triggered off into a different kind of challenge, and a whole scenario can change. A software, many a times I have found a software working great with the client, and you roll out an update and things goes haywire, things goes completely out of the grid, and the clients or the customers comes back and says, hey, you know what, things were working so great past 5 years or 6 years, what did you do last weekend? This is not working, because maybe while implementing this feature you thought like to be upfront with the market, but you forgot the kind of scenarios, you forgot to test all kind of scenarios under which your software or hardware is being used by the client. So you might not have taken all the points into consideration, but the marketing guy or the sales guy or the support team might had a better idea of it. So if you were discussing with them before taking a decision, it might have saved you a lot of trouble. Now, with the open door policy, the second thing which comes are faster decision. When you as a leader, or who's heading the organization or heading the department, is involved into what is actually happening at the ground level, what happens is the moment a challenge pops up, you are aware of it, you are absolutely alert, and you can take better decisions, and the damage control can be done much easier at a much earlier stage, which might save you a lot of dollars, a lot of money, a lot of the resources in times of human resources and other resources. So why go into something which is beyond the management's grip, whereas there are teams we are working with the clients directly, so taking an input from them directly and letting them approach you is the first step towards real success, towards understanding the client's pulse, towards understanding the kind of challenge the clients face, and towards implementing the best policy to take care of that. So uh, faster decision will involve lesser losses, minimization of losses. Faster decision will also ensure customer, a better customer experience, in terms of they understand that if the challenge arrives, my challenges are taken, or my difficulties, or whatever complaints I lodge or raise up, they are taken care of very very fast, in a fast mode, and they work on that, so I need not worry about it. I simply work on the software, I simply work with my work, and there is a team who will take care of all things which might go wrong. So, see, the support team, I have seen the support team. I had the privilege of heading the support team, the escalation team, throughout my life in my 20 years or 30 years of working experience. Um, what I have found is when the support team is in direct communication with the team heads, or the operation heads, or the director, or the decision makers, it becomes much easier. The things get smooth, things get solved much faster, and we can get back to the client faster. So building a very positive work environment, and a very positive support and client relationship. So uh, When that happens, not only the clients are benefited, the clients becomes loyal clients because they now know that my problem will be taken care by the support team very fast. And when can our support team take a faster decision is when they are in communication with you as the organization head, who can give a go ahead, like, okay guys, you go ahead with this, you provide this solution, let's work on this, and should any problem pop up, I'm there, I'm going to back you up. So that kind of support, that kind of mental support literally lets the employees, the subordinates and the other teams go ahead and work with less fear, work with less kind of tension in their mind, and they contribute better when they are not stuck up with what if this thing goes wrong. I'll be the person who will be taking all the hit, rather than that. If the person feels like, okay, let me go and discuss it with the director directly, and let's get a feedback as to how he thinks about the situation. Well, I have thought about this, so let me put it in front of him as a suggestion, and if he approves it, so I know these things will be taken care of. And if things goes wrong, I again can sort or seek his advice and take care of the situation better. So what happens is decision making is faster, implementation of solution is faster, customer loyalty is taken care of, the employees are motivated, the employees are driven, and they are less fearless, and they are taking more independent decisions. So what will be happening is you will be not only creating a better workflow among the subordinates, among the organization, you will also be harnessing, you will also be cultivating leadership skills among the subordinates and the others. But you need to be very, very careful about the middleman, the junior managers who takes in the information and input from these subordinates and provides it to you. So along with their information as provided, you should always keep yourself available for the subordinates also, wherein they can come and approach you directly instead of going through their junior managers and put forward their point. Because many a times I have seen that the junior managers has a different perspective of how you might react, how you might take a decision, and they try to pretend as somebody who can take better decisions, and and they are also at a mindset of like, if this goes directly to my boss, he might be asking about my accountability as to, even when you are there on the floor, why are people coming to me, why are they asking me questions? So they are also afraid of that kind of scenario mindset also. But even when they see that you are open to feedback from them and the subordinates, neither he can manipulate any report or manipulate any kind of data, because he knows that you will be verifying it with the subordinates directly. So there is better transparency also among the departments, among the organization, among the employees, and obviously the work environment is healthy. Talking about a healthy work environment, when you practice open door policy as a director or as a head of the organization, what happens is you actually reduce external threats. You actually reduce external threats to the organization. External threat means threats from political parties and labor unions, because these are external organizations. Now, when the employees feels insecure about their point not being able to be put in front of you by them directly, they seek advice from these external organizations or external agencies, and those are some situations which are pretty nasty, because these organizations do not understand the way an organization works. Many a times they actually go and jeopardize the whole operation and whole foundation of the organization in terms of management, in terms of how they work, and in terms of production also. So interference of an external agency is not required when you are available to all the subordinates, your managers and your workers, or your other team members and others. So what happens is these people knows that if they have a problem, they don't need to seek advice or seek any help from others or any external organizations. There is you who will hear their point. There is an availability of the director directly, wherein they can put forward their discontentment, their confusion, the challenges, and when they get an assurance, as to, okay guys, I have heard of your problem, let me think about it, let me work on that, and let's see how best we can work on this. See, this kind of assurance not only creates a positive environment within the organization, the employees or the subordinates or the other departments are not encouraged to seek help from external agencies like labor unions or political parties. Because see, what will happen is political parties and labor unions, obviously they are working for the human rights and the benefits of the employees and others, but many a times they do not understand the operational greed of an organization, and they simply put forward their point of view as to how they understand the business, they understand the organization. And in a way, when they are approached by the employees, they are also bound to take a decision and approach you. So there is a lot of loss of man hours, a lot of loss of resources, a lot of chaos in terms of media coverage, and in terms of the wrong vibe being spread across the organization. So to avoid those, be that person who is available to every segment of employees. Like if you have a problem, genuine problem, which you find that after reporting once or twice also has not been taken care of, please approach me, let me work on that, let us see what best can be done, and let us sort it out within ourselves internally, not involving any external organization. On the positive note, what an open door policy also does is it creates a bondage between the employee and the employer, because it's a bondage of trust, it's a bondage of mutual collaboration, and they believe in you better, they contribute better, and they would be with you in your hard times, because they have found you to be with their hard times and good times also. So when you are that decision maker, when you are that organizational head, what you have to do is simply follow an open door policy. By open door policy, we mean that you are approachable. You are approachable by every segment of employees. Trust me, it does not mean every other employee will be storming into your room, cribbing about their problem, cribbing about a salary hike or something like that, because employees also knows that you are busy in decision making, and they should be busy in solving the client problem or others. That is the reason they are there. So when they find that there is a gap in between what is expected and a decision being taken, they would like to involve you in that procedure to get a better solution, because they still trust you, they still believe in you, and they do not really want to involve any external agencies to have their problem solved, because they understand that you are their employer, and whatever problem has to be solved, it has to be solved by you. So obviously every employee tries the best to approach the employer to have the problem solved. When they find that these problems reported are falling into deaf ears, that is the time when they get discontent, they get dissatisfied, they get demotivated, and we see a lot of attrition, we see a lot of chaos within the department, we see a lot of delays in handling the client's issues, we find a lot of loss in terms of customer loyalty, loyal customers breaking relationship with us. See, all this kind of pandemonic kind of situation arises when you start believing that as a decision maker you should be behind a closed door, you should be sitting in your glass cabin and taking the decisions. And that reminds me, in Japan, those managers who spends more hours on the floor, spending time talking to workers and the people involved in the production, they are appreciated much more, they are respected much more, because then people believes that he is somebody who's one of us, right? He has seen my problem, he has understood what is going wrong in the production, he understands what kind of environment I work in, he understands what kind of life I do have, what kind of environment the production is going on, the kind of challenges it might pose to an employer. So he is aware, so he is one of us, and he will be taking a better decision for us. See, that's the reason we have seen Japan flourishing so high, irrespective of two atomic bombs being dropped in them, the whole country being destroyed, the population suffering from radiation, and so on. But still, Japan has managed to be at the top with their production, with their kind of work ethics, the kind of deliverables, the kind of economic structure, and the kind of employee relationship. So that can only happen when you as a organization head or you as a leader start practicing a open door policy. You are approachable by the subordinates, you are approachable by the managers, you are approachable by the junior managers, and you are available when they face a challenge. What that does is it literally liberates them out of the fear of failing, and they contribute much better. With that kind of contribution happening in the organization, not only the organization grows, it creates a better workforce, it cultivates better leaders, and it also grows in the market as a humanitarian organization which is involving all the employees in its growth and taking care of all its benefits, all its problems, all the challenges. So to be that ethical leader, to guide the organization to the right direction, start practicing the open door policy, and I can assure you that not only your employees would be benefited, you would be benefited in terms of minimizing the losses, in terms of minimizing the man hour lost, in terms of better market collaboration, in terms of better market penetration and maximization of revenue. With that note today, guys, I take leave from you, winding up this session of Morning Vibes. It's always great talking to you guys. Take care of yourself, stay home, stay safe, and as I always mention, learn, contribute, and evolve. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.